Respect is not something you ask for. It's not something that arrives because you think you deserve it. It's not automatically given because you're a good person, or because you treat others well. Machiavelli, the political thinker whose ideas still unsettle people today, believed that respect comes from power, control, and a willingness to see human nature as it actually is, not as we wish it to be. When you feel disrespected, the natural reaction is often to feel hurt and try to be nicer, to win people over. This is the worst possible move. Human beings are wired to push boundaries. They test you, sometimes without even realizing it. If you respond with softness every time someone crosses the line, you teach them that they can keep doing it. They will not admire you for your kindness. They will see it as weakness. Machiavelli understood that in politics, leadership, and life, your value is tied directly to the boundaries you enforce and the consequences you deliver when they are crossed. Look at history. In politics, rulers who tolerated too much disrespect were overthrown quickly. Those who set clear, unbreakable limits, even if people feared them, lasted far longer. In workplaces, the managers who try to be everyone's friend rarely maintain control. Employees walk all over them, deadlines slip, and chaos takes over. Meanwhile, the managers who are firm, fair, and consistent keep order and get results. It's not about cruelty. It's about making sure that people understand that disrespect has a cost. Machiavelli's world was one of treachery, rivalries, and ruthless ambition. But human nature hasn't changed. Most people still respect strength more than goodness. That doesn't mean you have to become some cold dictator in your personal life. It means you need to stop thinking that respect will come from being endlessly patient, forgiving, or self-sacrificing. It won't. If anything, those qualities without boundaries will destroy you. One of the biggest traps people fall into is believing that their value is self-evident. They think, if I work hard and treat people well, they will automatically respect me. But study after study in psychology shows that human beings don't rank others purely based on merit or kindness. They pay attention to dominance, confidence, and the ability to protect oneself. In one survey on workplace dynamics, 61% of employees admitted they respected their most assertive boss more than their most empathetic one. They might have liked the empathetic one more, but respect came from strength. Machiavelli would tell you that if you want to be respected, you must accept a hard truth: the average person will treat you as well as you force them to. Not as well as you wish, and not as well as you treat them. This is why some of the nicest people you know are constantly mistreated, and some of the most ruthless people are rarely challenged. The reason many fail at this is fear. They're afraid of confrontation. They're afraid of losing people. They're afraid of being disliked. Religion has played a huge role in this conditioning. Many religions teach that turning the other cheek, forgiving endlessly, and being humble are the highest virtues. But look at the world honestly: does it reward those behaviors? Or does it quietly punish them while rewarding those who are assertive, strategic, and unafraid to enforce their limits? When religion tells you to submit, to accept insults, to endure mistreatment because there is some greater reward later, it is asking you to trade real-world respect for an imaginary promise. If someone disrespects you and you let it slide, they learn that your boundaries are just suggestions. In time, they stop even noticing they're crossing them. The worst part is, others around you notice too. Respect, like disrespect, is contagious. When people see you being treated poorly and doing nothing, they subconsciously feel free to treat you the same way. But when they see you stand your ground, even once, they think twice before testing you. This doesn't mean exploding at every small slight. Machiavelli advised rulers to act with calculated precision. If you punish, make it decisive and memorable. If you forgive, make sure it's strategic, not out of fear. In personal relationships, this might mean calmly telling someone they crossed a line and then showing, through action, that you won't allow it again. In business, it might mean removing privileges, refusing cooperation, or ending partnerships when someone repeatedly disrespects agreements. A lot of people get stuck because they think respect and kindness must always go together. They don't. Respect often grows in the presence of boundaries, even if there's no warmth. People may not like a strict leader, but they follow them. And over time, they may even come to trust them, because they know exactly where they stand. Kindness without strength, on the other hand, is unstable. It makes you dependent on the goodwill of others, and goodwill fades quickly when people think they can get away with anything. There's also a tendency to think that silence equals dignity. I won't respond to that insult, because I'm above it. This can work in rare cases, but most of the time, silence is read as permission. In political life, silence in the face of disrespect is a public admission of weakness. In personal life, it tells people you're safe to disrespect again. You don't have to be loud, but you do have to be clear. Machiavelli argued that perception shapes reality. If people perceive you as someone who tolerates disrespect, reality will soon match it. Some might say that fear-driven respect isn't real respect. But ask yourself, what is more useful to you in life? Someone who genuinely admires you but ignores your rules, or someone who might not adore you but consistently treats you with deference? Machiavelli's answer would be obvious. Reliability in behavior matters more than purity of feeling. People can dislike you and still respect you enough not to cross you. That's more valuable than being loved by people who constantly test your patience. In our time, we also see the effect of misplaced mercy. Governments that fail to punish corruption invite more corruption. Leaders who ignore insults lose their credibility. Parents who never discipline children often find themselves disrespected by those same children in adulthood. In all these cases, the intention was good, to be compassionate, to be understanding, but the outcome was predictable. Without a visible consequence, disrespect thrives, and here's another point Machiavelli would make: people are opportunistic. This doesn't mean they're evil. It means they respond to incentives and limits. If you make it, one study in behavioral economics showed that when late fees for daycare pickup were removed, late arrivals actually increased. Why? Because the penalty, the cost of crossing the boundary, was gone. People respond to consequences. Without them, respect declines naturally. In your life, the same principle applies. Your late fee for disrespect might be ending a friendship, withdrawing your cooperation, or confronting someone directly. Whatever it is, it must be clear, and it must be enforced consistently. There is also a danger in overcompensating. Some people, after being disrespected too often, swing to the other extreme. They become aggressive about everything, turning every interaction into a power contest. This is exhausting and self-defeating. Machiavelli preferred targeted action. Strike when necessary, and don't waste your energy trying to control everything. Too much aggression breeds resentment and rebellion. Too little invites exploitation. The skill lies in knowing the right moment and the right force to use. What about respect in the age of social media? Now, disrespect can be public, amplified, and permanent. This environment rewards those who can respond quickly and assertively without losing control. The ones who manage to turn an attack into a display of strength often come out ahead. The ones who ignore repeated attacks, hoping they'll fade away, usually see them multiply. The principles are the same as in Machiavelli's time. The stage is just bigger. If you want to never be disrespected again, you need to train yourself to do 3 things consistently. First, see people as they are, not as you wish them to be. This means accepting that self-interest drives most behavior. Second, make your boundaries so clear that crossing them feels like stepping into a minefield. Third, follow through every time. If you threaten consequences but never deliver, you destroy your credibility faster than if you had said nothing at all. Religion will tell you to leave it to divine justice. Machiavelli would say divine justice doesn't stop your rivals from undermining you, your partner from mistreating you, or your coworkers from taking credit for your work. Waiting for a higher power to solve your problems is a luxury for those willing to live with constant disrespect. If you want respect, you take it, through clarity, consistency, and the courage to confront. There's a reason Machiavelli's writings are still studied in political strategy, business, and even military training. They're not about cruelty for its own sake. They're about survival and influence in a world where not everyone plays fair. If you refuse to acknowledge that, you will always be at the mercy of those who do. And those people, the ones willing to set the terms, are the ones who get respected, whether they are loved or not. Respect is not about being feared to the point of hatred. It's about building an image that makes people think twice before crossing you. It's about controlling your reputation so that disrespect becomes rare and costly when it happens. This doesn't mean abandoning kindness. It means protecting it with strength. Without strength, kindness is just an invitation for exploitation. Machiavelli's lesson is simple but hard to live by. Stop waiting for people to respect you out of the goodness of their hearts. Make it so that respecting you is the easiest and smartest choice they can make. Everything else is wishful thinking, and wishful thinking has never protected anyone from disrespect.